Hello guys, and welcome back to a new video. In this video, I'll be making a tutorial on how you can make your own conveyor system in Roblox. And here you can actually see the one that's in my game, and you can see like a player and him using it. So this could be used in your Tycoon style game maybe. And yeah, so the focus here is to make a very robust and reliable conveyor system so that we can quickly replicate it and create like all sorts of fancy systems. So let's just get right into it. All right, so here we are in Roblox Studio, and now you can just see that I have the basic base plate. I created this basic coordinate frame. If you're not familiar with coordinate frames, the idea is that like parts in Roblox, like the position of a part, is based on an x-axis. So let me just grab this. So it's based on like where it is located on the x-axis, the z-axis, and then the y-axis, which is the height. So I just put this so that it's a little easier to understand what's going on. So in most YouTube videos, you will see some like a very simple implementation in this way, where for now, just we'll make like a conveyor looking thing. And what they normally do is they first go into properties, scroll down, make sure can collide is on, make sure anchored is on, and then they go to assembly linear velocity. This makes it super easy to make a conveyor in Roblox, and all you have to do is set which coordinate this conveyor should move in. So as you can see, I have this coordinate plane, right? And um, for this case, I want my conveyor to move along the x-axis. So here I can just set the x1 to some sort of value. And then if we actually run this, you'll see that I indeed move along that axis. And then, like, let's say that I want to instead move along the z-axis. You can simply set this to 0 and then set this to another value. And now we're going to move against the z-axis, right? You can also do like a diagonal movement where you move both on the x and z-axis. And now you will see that we do so. So you might be thinking that, oh, we already have a working conveyor. Why, add a script or do anything more? The issue now is that, first, let me just fix this so that we're only moving in the x-axis. Now the issue is that if you want to create like another conveyor, right? Most of you would just duplicate it and then you would move it over and then maybe rotate it because you want parts to go like that. Now, when you run the game, you will see that, okay, the conveyor works fine over here, but it keeps going in the x-axis. It doesn't go along this path. And especially with something like this, that is not like along one of the axes, um, like the assembly linear velocity is going to be really weird because we want it to move in like sort of a diagonal way. So you'd have to like probably use Pythagorean theorem or something to get this working. So maybe an x-axis of 2 is the right solution. Like you'd have to do a lot of experimenting just to get this to work. Oh, you can see that I still messed it up. But yeah, it gets really tough, and that's why we're going to move to a more robust implementation. So now let's work on the better way. So for now, I'll just delete this. What we're going to do is we're going to find out which direction is the front of this conveyor, right? And we're going to tell the conveyor to move the assembly linear velocity in that direction. So first we need to find which side is the front. So to do that, you can click on the part, add a decal. So I already loaded in this image with the word front, but like you can use any image because it'll be pretty obvious. And I just made it red so that we can clearly see where it is. So you can see that the front is not actually the way that we want it. So what I'm going to do here is first scale this like this, and then make it so that, the front of the conveyor is that way. Okay, so now we know where the front of the conveyor is. We want to tell this conveyor to move in this direction. So what you'll notice is that assembly linear velocity is actually a vector 3 because it has x, y, and z. And also, the C frame of a part has a look vector, which tells you which direction it moves along, which is also a vector 3. So we can actually use that to our advantage. So here, we'll just make some of the basic parts of the script, like first specifying the part that is the conveyor, then maybe setting a speed, and then let's get the look vector. So conveyor.CFrame.LookVector, okay? And the thing is that the look vector is actually in the direction that we want the conveyor to go in. So all we have to simply do is conveyor.assembly.linearVelocity equals to this direction. And if we click run, oh, also always make sure that this is can collide and anchored. So if we go in, we'll see that it works. It goes in that direction that we want. It's a little slow, so what we can actually do is, since we have speed, we can just multiply a scalar directly to this vector. And what you'll see is that it just works. Right? That's pretty cool. So then let's try a different direction. The front is here. Again, it works. So then let's try making multiple of them. So then let's say we just duplicate it, we move it, rotate it like that. And then we add another one. We want it to go this way. Okay. And then let's just test it out. Look at that. The conveyor works exactly as we want it to. And we can also do this with like different parts. So then here, if we just put this on the conveyor, okay, I think the conveyor is moving a little too fast. Yeah, maybe we'll slow it down. So then if we add a new part, we can see that it all works amazingly. It works exactly how we want it. Obviously, we can make sure, it's not colliding like this, but you get the idea of how to get this working. But then also we run into an issue. So what actually happened was that I only changed the speed for this one because each one of these have their own script and we have to manually go through all of these, and that's a lot of work. So instead, we're going to use the collection service to make this even better. The collection service is a service where you can tag items, right? Like as in you just give them a sort of label, and it makes everything convenient because you can get all of those tagged items. You can check if an object has that tag. So it's a very useful feature. And now I'll just give you like an idea of how it works. So first, let's just delete these two conveyors. And what I recommend is that you get this plugin. It's free and it will be in the description. So it's called the tag window. And here I've already made a tag. I'll just delete this for now. So just make a new tag called conveyor, okay? And what we're gonna do is we're going to set this to a conveyor. So if you notice it, this part is a conveyor, but the base plate is not a conveyor, right? And then let's move this script up here because it's no longer going to be like specific for that part. And what we can actually do is we can make another part like this. Let's rotate this. Right. Okay, so now we have like this set of conveyors, make sure both of them have that conveyor tag, okay? And what we'll do is we'll work off of this script. So first, let's get the collection service. And then what we're going to do is get all the conveyors in the game. So this we can do with CollectionService.GetTagged conveyor. And this returns an array of instances, which is basically like a bucket full of all of the conveyors. And what we can do is we can go through each one of these conveyors using a for loop. So then in conveyors do end, right? Okay, so now we're iterating through each conveyor, and to each conveyor we want to do these things. So let's just move the speed up here because the speed of all the conveyors will be the same. And then we can remove this, and we can literally copy paste this here. So now let's just go over what this code does. So first we get the collection service, we get all the conveyors in the game, we set the speed, so you can change this in one place. And for each and every conveyor in the game, it gets its look vector and it sets its assembly linear velocity. So now if we click run, you can see that it immediately works, right? And also if you want to add a new conveyor, just make a new part, and like let's say it's like custom, like I want a really fat conveyor. Oh, also move this decal into that part and check which part is the front. Okay, so the front is this way, and that's right, I just wanted to move that way. So let's say I want to make this really fat conveyor, right? I made it, I know where the front is. All I have to do is click on it, go to my plugins, and in the tag service, just click on conveyor, right? And we click run. Oh, also you can see that this doesn't work because I forgot to anchor it. So always make sure to anchor things. So now let's anchor that and then run. Look at that. So simple, so clean. And now we just have this conveyor tag, and we can just tag anything to be a conveyor and it'll automatically work. All you have to make sure is that like where the front is, make sure it's anchored and can't collide. All right, let's just say that you have a model of a conveyor that you want to use instead. So here is like a rough model I made. It's nothing fancy, right? And I want this to be a conveyor. How can I do this quickly with the code and the tags that we just created? So go into the model and find the part that is actually the conveyor. Okay, so for me, it's this. And then just make sure that the front is indeed the front. So, okay, we can see that, yeah, the front is where I want it to be. If like you're not able to add a decal and see anything, then you can simply just go to that part that's supposed to be the conveyor, and then go to your plugins again and tag it. So make sure that this is checked, right? You'll notice that all the other parts do not have this tag, it's only the conveyor. And then you can just click run. And yeah, there we go, we have it working. Make sure again that, you know, it's anchored, that's important, and the can collide is on. And yeah, this is how you can simply do that. For some of you, your face, like the front might be this way, and then you'll see that the conveyor moves like that. Sadly, Roblox doesn't have a feature to quickly change the front. You're just going to have to redo this part so that the front is indeed the front. And yeah, that is the tutorial. Thank you so much for watching.